Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Alicia from Awestruck Crochet and I'm taking you on another market that I have this weekend. This is actually at a fair and I'm not sure if the fair is actually going to be going on like it was in my last market, but there are several different places for people to set up. One being inside a barn, another in a beer garden, and then another one in a different building, and I'm in the other building. There's not it's not super crowded in there, which is kind of nice. We were able to pick up an extra booth space because the booth that we got was actually smaller than we anticipated, and there were two empty spots right beside us, so we were able to take one of those and purchase it. And so yeah, I'm super excited to take you along. I wasn't able to film a ton of setup process just because as soon as I got here, I had to quickly set up in order to get done by the designated time. So let me show you what my booth looks like now that it's all set up and filled, and I can't wait to show you all the things that sold and how it goes. So let's check it out. All right, booth updates. We're an hour in. Okay, shop update. I had to bring out my summer things and my pencil. All my bees sold. Quite a few small things. Some chickens. A lot of pumpkins. So I am about 2 hours in and I've had to restock my booth several times already. Okay, I immediately put out my mermaid girl and someone already asked me to hold her. So it is super busy here. Okay, restocked again, so I'll show you my booth one more time. I put out my plants, I moved the mushrooms, put out the octopus. I've kept this all the same. But I brought out my last little bit of whales, my wrist snuggler, my last bee, and then moved my pumpkins around. So this is the last little bit of my stock that I have left before I completely sell out. All right, it's 1 o'clock. Let's do a booth update. Okay, it's 3 o'clock. I'll show you what my booth looks like after the market. Okay, so we are about almost a week after the market, and I wanted to go over what sold and how much I made and the cost of each item. I wanted to record this video the ending of the market a lot sooner than I am now. However, it's just been so busy of a time. I had actually, since this market, I had 4 days to prep for my next market, and then I also and that market was Thursday, which just happened yesterday. There is going to be a market vlog for that. And then I actually have one tomorrow. I'm recording this on Friday. So go ahead and talk to you about it all before I get way far behind on market vlogs and don't get a chance and also don't recall and remember. So this market, I think I told you before, was an inside market. It was going to be at the fairgrounds. It was a 2-hour drive away from me, and it was going to be a 6x8 booth, which was the smallest booth that I had ever set up, and I was also supposed to be sharing this booth with my mom. However, when we got there, there was a couple empty spaces, and so we were able to purchase another booth so that we had our own. And the night before, I had actually talked to my husband about, is this market going to be worth it? I would hate to do the 2-hour drive and then it not be worth my time. But it was such a good market. It was one of my best markets, and so I'm really glad that I decided to go ahead and test it out. Again, this is my first year of fully trying all markets to see which ones are going to be it, and ones that I would want to do again next year, and ones that maybe I would pass on and try something else. So this is my guinea pig year to see how it's going for each type of market. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I will try to insert pictures here along, and I'll tell you the price and how many of the items sold. I broke them off into categories. I have my notebook here, so whenever I'm looking down at it, that's what I'm looking at. So let's go ahead and start with just overall. Okay, so overall, my loveys got a lot of attention, whether someone was interested in buying it or not. Everyone, and I literally mean almost everyone, came over to touch the fox lovey, and it actually never sold. But even other booth vendors around me had noticed that almost everyone was touching the fox lovey, but no one was purchasing it. And so someone had come over and said, you know, if there was a dime for every time someone loved on the fox, like, I would be super rich. And it was so true. This market was super busy. I tried to take footage of the traffic and everything, but I did not get enough time in between people to really even show you customer interaction and show you, like, I barely had enough time to just show you my booth update in between. I had made my profit back from the booth within 30 minutes of being there, and again, it was from 9 until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So loveys got a lot of attention. The ones that did sell were the bear blankie body. Only made one, and I sold it for $35. And then I had the duck lovey. It was a kind of like a light blue lovey, and I sold it for $40. Look at his face. He's been eating dirt. Oh, babies. Okay. Oh, honeys. Are you going to play with the boys? You going to play with the boys outside? Yeah, go play with the boys outside. And then we'll get you all cleaned up when you're officially done. Okay, and then I also sold the white chicken lovey for $30. I only made one of those. Okay. Because my booth was so small, I decided to set out all of my fall things only, and then once things were getting sparse, I decided that I was going to bring my I was going to set out my other inventories, things that I made like in the summer that didn't sell. And I'm really glad that I did that, because almost everything that I put out immediately would sell. And so I was having a really hard time keeping up. So after the loveys, and this is in no particular order, I just grouped them so that it'd be easy to break down by category. Okay, the plants were an item that I set out after all my fall things were kind of selling. One that sold was the Monstera hanging plant. I sold it for $18. And then fall hats, I sold one adult knitted beanie hat for $22. I sold 2 of the velvet beanies. They were in size 0 to 3 months, and I sold them each for $25. The next size up in 3 to 12 months for the velvet beanies, and I sold 2 of them for $28. And then I had velvet headbands, and so I sold 2 of them in the 0 to 3 month size for $12 each. And then I had the velvet headbands in adult size, and I sold 2 of them for $25 each. And then I also sold one of the velvet wristlets. It was in the gray for $5. I don't know about you guys, but the velvet wristlets, like the key wristlets, car key wristlets, they don't sell that great for me. I had made like 5 of each color, and they're slowly starting to sell, but they're not a big hit. Like usually it's just one that sells each market. And so I'm wondering if that's the case for you guys as well, because I thought that they'd be a bigger hit because they are a lower priced item, but they're just not. Okay, so then my daughter makes bracelets, and one of her bracelets sold for $5. Pumpkins, I only crocheted 3 medium pumpkins, and so 2 of them sold for $20. And then I have these small pumpkins, and 11 of them sold for $12 each. I also made baby booties, and they were a 0 to 3 month size, and only one sold for $16. Now moving on to plushies, I made 4 mini opossums, and they all four sold for $12 each. I put out my mint chocolate chip ice cream cow after all the fall stuff had sold, and immediately after I put it out, it had sold for $40. I had one bat for $25 that sold. One mermaid, it also sold for $50. I had 3 octopus for from the summer makes, and all 3 of them sold for $15 each. I had 2 random whales left, a yellow and a dark gray, and both of those sold for $8 each. I had 3 pumpkin turtles, and all 3 of those sold for $22 each. The Mabel chickens, I had 10 sell, and I charged $15 each for them. The Mabel chickens bring in a lot of customers, and a lot of people ooh and all over them, but they aren't always a big seller. And so this market, I was actually really surprised to see so many chickens sell. I crocheted 4 mini ghosts, and these ghosts did not have the witch hat, and all 4 of them sold for $8 each. And then I also have the ghost with the witch hat, and it's a little taller than the mini ghost. And so I had 2 of those left, and I sold them for $12 each. Before this market, the weekend before, I had like a mini live sale, and so I originally had 4 of those ghosts with the witch hat, but 2 of them sold on the online sale along with several other pumpkins. So a lot of the things that I made during Cameron's Cute Creations market prep, I had also sold the week before in a Facebook Live. So that kind of took away from the inventory that I was able to bring to this market. So anyway, I only had 2 of those witch ghosts left. I sold both of them for $12 each. And then I brought my original bees. I had 7 of them, and they all sold for $8 each. And so I'm completely sold out of my bees now. And then I only had time to make 2 of the candy corn bees, and both of those sold for $8 each. So this market, I made $1,091. That does not include the tax that I collected. When I crochet or charge for my products, I do not include the tax into the price, just because I am from a small town, and I was originally doing that. Like if my bee was $8, tax was included. However, that $8 was formed based on my time and materials, and tax was not included in that $8. And so I went back and forth determining, you know, should I leave it at $8 or should I bump it up? So I was trying to decide, you know, because sales tax for $8 is like 52 cents, and or maybe 56 or 58 cents, I can't remember. So I was trying to decide, do I leave it at $8 and really be earning $7.50, or do I bump it to $9 so that it's still even? But again, I live in a small town, and people are kind of snooty about handmade products and prices, and I decided that I was just going to leave my $8 $8 and people would pay additional sales tax because you do that also in the grocery store. Anyway, when you buy milk from the grocery store and it's like $3.40, you're not buying it just for $3.40. You're buying it for $3.40 plus sales tax, and that is just normal retail price. And so I decided to also do the same, because when I figured when people pick up the B and they see it for $9, they might have a harder time buying it for $9 with sales tax included than they would for $8. And so that's why I decided to only not include the sales tax in my prices. So I made, without sales tax, I made $1,091. With sales tax collected, in addition, I collected $97.72. So that was not money out of what I already made. That was an additional cost that was already charged to the customer. I got $2.45 for tips. And overall, since I also took cash and card, my fees for my card were $19.74. My fees for the card, I do not charge to the customer. I only charge the sales tax, just because I'm used to paying all of Etsy fees. So the $19.74 is going to come out of that $1,000, just because I don't have customers pay any fees whenever they have their card. Now you certainly can, I just don't. I'm used to also, like, I sell on Etsy, and it's just a very small amount of fees for how much I made in sales with cards. I made about even. There was about $500 in cash and about $600 in cards. So I was definitely willing to pay the $19 for them. But usually your tips will cover your fees. And so that $2.45 did cover some of the fees, which left me in total of paying for fees $17.24. So that is my market breakdown. I hope that you enjoyed watching my setup and me showing footage of what my booth looked like between customers and stuff. It was such a busy market, so fun. I loved connecting with everyone, and it's definitely a market that I am interested in doing again next year, and hopefully I can prep a little bit better for it, knowing what sold the most, and just have that in mind for next year. So I would love to keep hanging out. If you want to see how my market went before this, be linked at the end of this video if you would like to watch it. And stay tuned for other future market videos, because I have several coming up with my fall season market being busy. So thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye.